Hi and welcome everyone to another team selection video on my channel. My name is Denis and today I'm going to show you how my team is going to line up for Game Week 2 of Fantasy Premier League. Now, if you enjoyed this content, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button, but now let's get into it. Okay, now real short, before showing you my team for Game Week 2, I just want to discuss a little bit about what happened in Game Week 1. Now, as you can see from the screen, this was my team for Game Week 1 of Fantasy Premier League. I ended up on 55 points and my overall rank, as you can see, is 4.2 million. So I would say that not the greatest start. For me, obviously a little bit disappointing maybe, but what I want to express here a little bit for you guys also, try to not be too harsh on yourself because it is just Game Week 1 of Fantasy Premier League. Remember guys, there are still 37 games. You can't win the game in Game Week 1, and I just think that we should try to not overreact too much about what's happened obviously in Game Week 1, because usually it is really unpredictable what's going to happen in Game Week 1, and it is really important to try to not panic, try to relax a little bit, try to save the transfer if you can for Game Week 2. That would be my general advice for this period. But now if we talk a little bit about my team, as you can see, Sanchez with 8 points, Pedro Porro with 6. Really happy obviously with these guys. Overall, I am really happy with my team I picked. Obviously, would have I preferred to have 80 to 90 points, of course, but overall I don't have a lot of picks into my team, which feels really disappointing. Now, if I talk a little bit about them, maybe picking someone like João Pedro was it is a little bit disappointing for me, but that's just because he wasn't in my draft till the last 1 or 2 days till the deadline. So again, I'm a little bit disappointing with players like Palmer, João Pedro. They were really bad against Crystal Palace, but to be honest with you, Crystal Palace defended really well in those games. So again, would have I preferred these players, Rodgers, Wirtz, Palmer, João Pedro, Watkins, to score more points in Game Week 1? Of course I would, but again, football just doesn't work like that. I pick these players for a long period of time. I'm going to give them the time to prove themselves, and I just think that this is a really important thing to do also in your team. Obviously, as you can see on my bench, I have Richards from Crystal Palace, who scored 6 points against Chelsea. I'm really happy that I picked him. Now, obviously, I was never going to play him against Chelsea away because I just thought that Crystal Palace are going to concede, but really happy to have him overall. So again, this is how my Game Week 1 team performed. Really happy with my decisions, but let's see how my team is going to look for Game Week 2. Okay, now moving forward, let's see how my team is going to look like for Game Week 2, and let's start with the defense. As you can see, this is how I'm lining up at the moment. In the defense, I'm going to be honest with you, I have the most dilemmas. The midfield and the attack are pretty much straightforward, but if we talk a little bit about the defense, as you can see, my goalkeeper at the moment is Sanchez over Dubravka. Now, maybe you're asking why I'm just not playing Dubravka, who has a better fixture against Sunderland at home. The answer is pretty much simple. I don't want to have double Burnley defense playing against Sunderland, although the fixture is great. I want to have some coverage also from Chelsea's defense, because I think that Chelsea also are a really amazing defense, obviously better than someone like Burnley. But again, the fixture is decent against West Ham away. It is not a given or something like that Chelsea are going to keep a clean sheet against West Ham, but I think that the chances are there, and I want to try to spread the risks a little bit, because if I would play Esteve and Dubravka and Burnley concedes against Sunderland, I will feel really horrible about myself and about my pickings. But again, the defenders who are pretty much locked in into my starting 11 are Richards and Milenkovic, because obviously I don't really have a lot of good alternatives on my bench, as you can see from the screen. So although they're going to play against each other, I think that both teams showed really good signs about defending in Game Week 1. Obviously, Nottingham Forest conceded really late, but still they are going to be a good defense this season, I suppose. And I can see easily this game going up, ending up 0-0. Now, again, both these players are decent also for defensive contributions, so I'm just going to try to play both of them. With Milenkovic also has a lot of attacking threats, so there's no way he's not going to be in my first 11. Now, again, on my bench, as you can see, I have Aaron Wan-Bissaka playing against Chelsea at home. Probably I'm just not going to play him because I think that West Ham are going to concede. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not the most attacking defender, let me just put it like that. And again, the fixtures for West Ham in general are not amazing in the next fixtures, but that's why I have someone like Richards who rotates pretty well with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, the real question here is to play Pedro Porro against Manchester City away or to play Esteve. This is pretty much my biggest dilemma for Game Week 2, and probably I'm going to get it wrong, but as you can see, Spurs are going to play against Manchester City away. Now, does that mean? Spurs are going to play probably a 3-5-2 formation, so Pedro Porro is going to play a more advanced role on the right wing, and that's amazing for FPL. Now, the thing is, maybe you're asking then, why am I not starting Pedro Porro? He's going to play a more advanced role, he's on set pieces, he's going to get a lot of attacking returns, maybe not a lot, but he could get some definitely against Manchester City away. Now, the only reason I'm benching him is because I think that Manchester City are going to score in this game, and it is really difficult for me to justify starting a defender who I'm pretty sure is going to concede. And also I know that the attacking contributions could be there, defensive contributions could be there against Manchester City, but losing that clean sheet, 4 points, it is just too much little bit to me, and that's why at the moment I'm starting Esteve against Sunderland at home. Now again, I'm not really convinced about Burnley defense, but it is a good fixture against Sunderland at home. I know that they just scored 3 goals against West Ham, but I don't think that they're going to score 3 goals every gaming for sure. So again, usually Burnley were a really good defense in the championship last season, so at the moment this is how my backline is going to look like: Esteve, Richards, Milenkovic and Sanchez in goal over Dubravka. But now let's see the midfield. Okay, now moving forward, you can see this is how my midfield is going to look like for Gaming 2. Rodgers, Reinders, Palmer, Wirtz, Mohamed Salah. Now let's talk a little bit about Mohamed Salah, because probably he's going to be my captain against Newcastle away. Again, I don't think that it is an easy fixture or something like that for Liverpool. I know that Mohamed Salah didn't look amazing in the first game week against Bournemouth, but I still think that if you want to go safe, obviously you just captain Salah or someone like Haaland. His ownership is huge at the moment, and in my defense, I just find it really difficult for me to captain someone like Cole Palmer against West Ham away, although the fixture is much better for Chelsea. After I saw how Palmer played in game week 1 against Crystal Palace, it is really difficult for me to justify captaining him, so that's why at the moment my captain is going to be Mohamed Salah. I think that it is a decent fixture for Liverpool. It's not an easy one, but we know that Salah can score in pretty much every game week, so would be anyone surprised if Salah scored 2 goals or something like that against Newcastle away? I don't think so. Now again, Wirtz, another player a lot of people at the moment are going crazy about. So again, his ownership is really high at the moment. A lot of people picked him for game week 1. I'm not really sure what all these people were expecting. Palmer, Wirtz, Bruno Fernandes, Marmoush, all these players blanked in game week 1. That doesn't mean that all these players are going to be bad options for the season. So if you have players like Palmer, Wirtz, Bruno Fernandes, again, I would just suggest you to try to give them 2, 3, 4 game weeks maybe before judging how they are going to be this season, because I just don't see the reason to transfer someone like Wirtz, someone like Bruno Fernandes to Reinders just because Reinders scored 10 points or something like that. Now, talking a little bit about Reinders, I'm really happy that I started the season with him, and not just because he scored 10 points in game week 1, obviously that's amazing, but why I'm really happy is that now a lot of people are going to try to get Reinders into their teams. He's going to get some price rises, so it really feels great to be on the good side on things. But again, if you have players like Sar, Njae, someone like Anderson from Nottingham Forest, definitely I would not use a transfer in gaming 1 to sell them to someone like Reinders. But again, fair enough, if you really want to make a transfer in gaming 2, Reinders is one of the best options you can do at the moment. Again, I don't think that he's going to score 10 points every gaming. I don't think that he's going to score goals every gaming. I think that's really obvious. They are going to play against Spurs at home. It's not going to be that easy like it was against Wolverhampton, so let's see how Reinders is going to do in the future, but I'm just not expecting him to be this amazing pick who's going to score 15 points every gaming. So again, let's be a little bit patient and see what's going to happen. I can guarantee you that a lot of things are going to change in the next 2 or 3 gamings, and a lot of players who scored really well in game week 1 are going to blank probably in game week 2, and the same for game week 3. Let's just see what's going to happen and try to assess. I think that it is really important this season to try to save as many transfers as you can to be prepared for what's going to happen. Now, if you talk a little bit again about Rodgers, he was disappointing against Newcastle in game week 1, but now they're going to play against Brentford away, a really nice fixture. There's no way I would sell someone like Rodgers right now because the fixture is just too great. His data wasn't great, but he also scored a lot of goals and assists for Aston Villa. Usually when they are scoring, Rogers or Watkins are involved. So really happy to have him into my team, and overall really happy with my midfield, to be honest with you. So yeah, let's move to the forward. Okay, now moving to the final part. Now you can see my full team. My strikers are João Pedro and Oli Watkins from Aston Villa. So as I said before, really happy to have Rogers and Watkins from Aston Villa. Although they blanked in game week 1, they have a really good fixture in game week 2, and also the fixtures are amazing for Aston Villa in the future weeks. So no plan to sell them at the moment. I'm going to give them more time. Now again, if they're going to blank obviously for 2, 3, 4 game weeks or something like that, then yeah, I'm going to look to sell them, but at the moment they are great. They're going to play against Brentford, a team who just conceded 3 goals against Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest were also really bad in the preseason if we talk about attacking wise. And again, generally they are not an amazing attacking team, let's be honest. But yeah, really happy with Watkins. Rogers, with João Pedro, it is a little bit of a different situation because he is the pick maybe which I'm the most disappointed for picking for game week 1. I wish I had someone like Wood. I wish I had someone like Strand Larsen, someone like Evan Nilsson in his place. But again, I picked him. I knew that his minutes were not going to be great going into every game week. Now I'm still expecting him to start against West Ham away. The fixture is still great. I'm going to give him at least 1, 2, 3 maybe game weeks to see what's going to happen, if he's still going to be a starter for Chelsea or if Delap is going to get more and more minutes off the bench. But again, with Palma, João Pedro, really disappointed about their performances, but I'm not going to judge these players just by one game. So again, let's see what they're going to do. Overall, really happy with my team. As I said before, my only dilemma is Esteve versus Pedro Porro, or to play Dubravka over Sanchez, something like that, but I just think that I'm going to play Sanchez. My captain probably is going to be Mohamed Salah. The plan was always to roll in game week 2, maybe to roll also in game week 3. So yeah, overall really happy with how my team is looking for game week 2. Please let me know what do you think about my team in the comments, and thank you so much for watching this long. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye. Bag pura lor, când mă întreabă oamenii de unde sunt, le zic de